Hey guys, it's
Tick.
and Tag.
Welcome back to Jank Play.
Yeah, Tomb Raider 4, baby. This is the game we all love dearly. Raiden, specifically.
Love
I
is
can't
such
even-
a strong word.
I can't even pry him away from this game.
Love is such a
Like,
strong
baby, get out
word.
from behind them. He finds it incredibly
Gosh.
challenging to stop playing.
I really don't.
Like, I
actually.
really have to, like...
See, that's the thing.
break
Is
his
we
legs.
record for so long, or at least it feels like so long, right?
Uh-huh.
But then we like go and play. Like you're like, oh, that's it. I'm like, oh, we're done, because it doesn't feel like we had done enough, even though we had just recorded for like 12 years.
It's true.
And then sometimes, other times, especially with the third game, it would be like, all right, one more, and I'm like, what? We just recorded for like 6 years. What do you mean?
That was only one 30-minute.
That is half of what we were supposed to do. I refuse to believe it. And then he's right. It's ridiculous.
And then you just pass away mentally.
I hate these games. I don't know if I've said that out loud recently. Fucking hate these games.
So, okay, soon we'll get to Tomb Raider 5. And that one will be even better than this one.
That's true.
He just...
I'm excited for not Tomb Raider 5, but well, Rise and Shadow and all them.
Yeah, well, how many are there? There's like 2 of them.
There's 3 of them. There's like Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and something else. Or Shadow is the third one. I don't remember.
This is just Tomb Raider. Is it this one?
No, it's like I think it is Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then something of the Tomb Raider, and then Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I don't remember. I own all 3 of them.
He's what? He's crazy. He don't get it. I think it's funny. It took us so long to play these games. They came out with a remastered version.
Fucking true.
It's so
It
sad.
took us forever to play these stupid fucking games.
I know. And we're like barely anywhere into them because we did the first 3, and yeah, we have a lot left.
Oh shit.
Because there's this one. I'm not even bothering to look. There's too many. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's this one, and then
At least 6
2 more.
At least 6 more total, if you include all the Tomb Raider games. That's weird. This makes sense.
I'll get it.
Hey!
Told you.
Hey!
Oh wait, that was perfect. I doubt this will let me actually do anything useful.
Aw, yeah, here we go again. Brandon, stop messing it up.
Oh, fuck you, game. I yumpied.
Tisk, tisk. I'm waiting for the day that I run into a copy of this game, or one of these games, for console.
Right?
I'm waiting for that day. Because it's gotta happen eventually.
I actually have memories of playing the first game on the PS1.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, it's gotta happen eventually. Right?
Sure.
I mean, maybe not.
Pepper, get out of there. That's not your shit. This fucking dummy.
But it could be.
But it's not.
She could have shit in there. And then it's hers.
It's not your stuff. Get out of there. Silly mud.
Goofy goober.
Yeah. Ah, more
Aw.
flares.
Nice. Use a flare to get a flare.
No, I think each flare that pick up like that is like 2 flares.
Whoa.
Or more.
Or more!
Fancy schmancy.
Wow, that's pretty.
No.
I bet if you're hanging off a ledge, your flare will never go up.
No, I probably will. Because it's just on a timer. It has nothing to do with animations that Laura can perform.
I don't know. You don't know. Could be. There's only one way to find out. Sacrifice a flare.
Hey,
Holy
guy.
shit. Why, Bird?
I'm gonna get him.
Not before they kill you.
I didn't realize I was so low on HP.
You're just they were cutting you in half.
I
man.
really didn't know I was that low on HP.
Weak sauce.
Oh, fucking sauce, you're weak.
No, man. Why can't I have soda?
Because you just had a major operation or whatever.
Yeah, they ripped out my tooth, man. Like last night, 24 hours ago. It's so sad. And I can't have soda. And that's all I want to drink.
Deserved. You're a bad person.
It's also hot in here. And I want something to drink, and I ran out of water already.
Misty and I have talked a lot about you.
Yeah.
Talking mad shit, of course.
Of course.
I'll tell you exactly what we said too, if you want.
Sure, why not?
But like, not exactly. I can paraphrase, but
You don't want to say. You want to say exactly?
I don't remember exactly.
Oh, fair enough.
And so instead of like murdering myself, perjuring, whatever, fucking whatever. Instead of committing a court crime, right?
Yeah, there you go.
To myself, I can just be like, yeah, I can tell you like approximately what was said.
Yeah.
Which is like, you're a bad person, and I always knew you were a bad person
That's rude.
because of the shit you pulled, and I quote directly from you, my goal was to be the laziest employee.
I did not say the laziest.
You did.
No.
You said you were trying to be as lazy as possible without getting fired.
That was after you started talking shit about me.
Yeah.
But no, what I wanted to do was I was only doing what was necessary of me. And the reason is because if I did more, they would expect more and still only pay me the same.
Still.
So I was like, I'm not giving myself away.
And I quote,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, my goal is to be as lazy as possible
Yeah.
without
Losing my job.
losing your job.
And I did.
Which is ridiculous.
I did exactly what they wanted. It wasn't lazy. It was lazy in the sense of like I could have worked harder, but I did exactly what they wanted. That's reasonable. That's not an unreasonable thing to do. You're too willing to give away your work. That's what it is.
No.
Yeah.
Freaking, if I get all of the things done, I feel like I've been in here and there's nothing in here.
Yeah,
If I get all of the things done and I have free time, I will fucking sit around or whatever.
That's
but,
what
like,
I did.
Freaking.
And then I got really fucking good at it. So it only took me like 4 hours.
Ooh.
So I had like half my shift to hang out. Boop, 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 boop.
According to Misty, literally nothing was, like, clean to her standards.
No?
No.
That's fair.
Because you did jack fucking shit.
Whatever. I did tons of stuff. She never mentioned to me that I wasn't meeting her standards.
That's true.
So to be fair,
That's fair. That's fair.
I didn't know that I wasn't doing a good enough job.
One of the big things is, I guess you didn't wipe down water fountains.
Oh, yeah, no, I never did that. I did it
And
maybe once in a while.
She's like, he did it for a little bit, and then he just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And, like, I was upset about that.
Dude, sounds like she's got
After she had mentioned it once.
She did mention it once. Yeah.
But only after she mentioned it did you do it. Apparently, like, the one time or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think the biggest problem was I kept forgetting to do it.
Because it wasn't part of your...
my system.
Yeah.
So I kept forgetting. And then I would remember, like, way later.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, too late now.
She's like, you didn't do door handles or anything else or... Like, all of these things that are supposed to be done. So...
That's funny. Because I mean, honestly, to be fair, that would be just as much on her as it is on me. Because she would never, like reprimand me at all. For
like
anything.
a solid, like, 70 split.
70 split.
I'd say 70 your fault after she had mentioned it once.
So, yeah, right. Well, that's the thing, too, is it's like, yeah, fair enough. I mean, true, I didn't do it.
Yeah. After she did mention it. That's the big thing.
She mentioned
That's why she only gets 30% of the blame.
But she only mentioned it once.
Exactly. That's why she gets 30% of the blame.
With no reprimand.
With no reprimand, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And then she never brought it up again. But to be fair, I think the other problem is...
With that in mind, 35 to 40% her fault.
Fair enough.
Literally the rest you.
No, that's
the
fair.
rest is on you.
I take it. Because also, I got away with it.
True.
And
True.
also, no repercussions from literally anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was upset
that's
about
the thing is, I don't know if anybody else knew you were supposed to be doing those things.
That's fair. And I think the biggest problem too, Misty, she works too hard. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because when she worked at Washington, she always talked about it, was that she would always like stay like really late, like wait like past time to go with overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Bert, because it was just there was too much to do, and so the problem was that she worked so hard, and like way too hard,
Mm-hmm.
that the school district they decided they didn't need more custodians at Washington, even though she told them that they did because they were working too hard.
Yeah.
Because she kept doing it, they felt they never needed to actually commit
because she
to
kept
doing
doing it.
And so nothing was
like,
ever not done.
Freaking 2 people working at like a solid 80%, right?
Yeah.
Like, more than enough for McKinley.
Oh, well, yeah, no.
Because McKinley's tiny.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
But Washington is huge now.
Yeah.
Washington is a big fucking school now.
Well, that was the thing, is that it started out to be smaller, like McKinley size, and that's why it was fine having the 2 custodians. But then they moved to the larger size, and they didn't give more custodians.
Right.
And that's why Misty and them had to work so much more later But, yeah, so, yeah, I think she works way too hard.
Yeah.
For what she gets paid as well, because, like...
Yeah, but, like, now it's, like, that's our, like, normal duties. There's 2 of us, we work at a tiny school, like, honestly, I don't feel like I'm overworking myself for how much work needs to be done, right?
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm not even remotely close to that, and so the fact that you were, like, lowballing it feels bad to me.
It's different, because you haven't worked a school year yet. Because it's way different duties than than the summer.
Way easier duties by the sounds of it.
Well, maybe, but that's the thing is, it feels way different because obviously during the school year you have everything's constantly being used.
Yeah.
And children are messy, but biggest thing too is it's like so you got constant use, so it's like also just different stuff. But anyways, yeah. So I think you'll have to experience it, and then you can tell me how much lazier I was.
Then I'll probably talk all of this shit. Dude.
Yeah, you can talk even more shit.
I will talk so much shit after this because, like, for real. And like the same thing with Connor. I'm like, I've moved stuff before. I've even moved people before, in way harder circumstances than like in a truck and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think framing is more difficult. And he's like, yeah, but you haven't, like, done it for, like, a day's worth of work. I'm like, yeah, that's fair, whatever, we'll find out. And then, like, right before I quit, I'm like, yeah, for sure, framing's way harder than this on a day-to-day basis. Way harder. And, like, the harder days in moving do come kind of close to the easier / hardish days of framing. But, like, for the most part, framing is so much more difficult. Like, consistently, than moving is. And I get to say that, because I've worked both. And, like, I talked to Anthony and Brent, and both of them are like, yeah, no, construction's way harder than this. Ah!
Oh, God.
He's running from me. Yeah, get on.
Coward.
Why do some of these guys take so many shots to work? Like, for real.
Oh, you know what's funny though? Along the whole not working hard enough or whatever in school, I always thought that. So I always had to cover for Misty sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Work her shift, and I was always so perplexed how she wasn't able to get all of her stuff done during a single day for her shift, because I never had issues doing all of her stuff. And that's what that's one of those things that I was always perplexed about.
Well, she was perplexed about the same thing with, like, how is there not more time to vacuum the whole school with your job? Because she's like, I did everything, and, like, to your, like, specific standards is everything. And she still had, like, 2 hours left, and then went a little above and beyond with your normal duties.
Oh, but see, that's the thing.
And still had 2 hours left. And she's like, how did he never, like, why would this be an issue for him?
I think the problem with that is, so she... Right, because I did start out by doing vacuuming the whole school.
Yeah.
Every night. The problem was, it was the endless go that I had issues with. Because what happened was I would literally go with my normal stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd do that. And then, like, as soon as I was done with that, I could sit down for a few minutes and eat. And then I'd have to be back on my feet for another, like, 2 hours to vacuum. I always had time. I never had issues doing it every night. I just was sick of it, basically. I was sick of that.
Which is honestly somehow worse.
But the problem, the one thing that I think about that I'm justified in that reason, is because there's supposed to be another person doing that job.
That's true.
And so by doing it all the time, perfectly, every night by myself, I'm telling the district they don't need somebody else.
Right.
And thus I'm lessening the urgency for them to actually get somebody
Right.
in.
But if you don't, you'll also get in trouble. It's like, why'd you stop?
Yeah, so basically what we compromised with, I do half the school every other night.
Yeah.
So like I alternate, and that way it still sent a message that we did need the student sweeper,
Right.
and the whole school still got done.
How long
on a
is the
regular
student
basis.
sweeper supposed to be there?
Well, I mean, they're supposed to be there like 3.5 hours every night.
So they have more than enough time to do the
No,
whole
yeah,
school
no,
time.
more than enough time. Like, it's without any excuse. But yeah, so that was the biggest reason why I was like, I don't want to be doing this every single night.
Yeah, and that's like fair. Freaking, but like also like you could have just
What?
done it.
I could have. Yeah, that's the mindset though, is because you see, just because I could do it doesn't mean I should do it.
Yeah, I was talking to Miss Debbie the other day, and she's like, "Do you miss us yet?" I'm like, "No, honestly, not even a little bit." And she's like, "What? Why?" I'm like, "I have a way easier job now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you understand." She's like, "You had it easy here." I'm like, "Not like this.
No,
Like
it's a whole nother level.
literally the most difficult thing I've done here in the last 2 weeks is put a table onto a dolly and move it across the school.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Like literally the most difficult thing I've done. So no, you don't even compare. This is a super easy job.
Yeah,
I will die before giving this job up. Okay. No, I do not miss you at all. No offense, but like,
It's so
I
funny.
way better job now.
It's so funny though.
So.
Yeah, so no, there's definitely like more to it than I was just lazy.
Well, yeah, no, I understood that, but also, like, I'm gonna just continue to talk mad shit.
Yeah, and the Misty's just gonna think I was just some lazy dirtbag.
The camera's locked.
Oh god. You're gonna make Misty think I was just completely lazy all the time for no good reason.
I mean, weren't you, though?
No, I had a good reason for most of it. Some of it was just pure laziness. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say none of it was.
Yeah, well, and even, like I said, and I quote, I'm gonna try and be as lazy as possible while keeping my job.
Yeah, because I'm gonna
Okay.
do exactly what they wanted from me, and no more. Because if they get more, it's kind of like you give them an inch, they'll expect a mile. That's the mindset.
Or you give them a mile every once in a blue moon, and they decide that it's the new standard.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a whole psychology. Oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to kill this guy.
It's
I
a whole
know
psych-
that wasn't clear.
It's a whole psychology thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know how like in schools, if like you get like a bunch of truant kids, like they're really like bad at coming to school,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you get kids that come to school every day. You know who gets a prize when they come to school?
The truant kids.
The truant kids.
Yeah.
So
Which
it's
is-
literally a psychology thing.
That's always been upsetting to me,
Yeah.
by the way.
But that's how like society works. So
Yeah.
if I do just the bare minimum, people are happy, and then if I do more, they're extra happy. But if
Yeah.
I do extra all the time, then they're upset when I do just the amount, right
That's the
amount.
thing. It's like I don't. It's not like I feel like I'm going above and beyond, right? Like I'm working in a solid
Well,
like
yeah, but
60% of my capacity.
You're also just working during the summertime, which is just completely different.
Well, I also. Oh shit! I haven't saved in a long time.
Oh,
Fucking.
jeez.
But like also like another huge thing is, I was a mover before this,
oh yeah,
and before that I was a framer. Those like freaking 4 school years of all of the work that needs to be done during the school year and the summer will not even remotely compare to
So like
1 year of framing.
that's fair. Well, 'cause it's a
Like
lot more
never.
like
They never will.
It's a lot more physical labor.
Exactly. And so it's a much harder job. And like freaking they I'm trying to pick this flare up without using one. There we go. They asked me like what does hard work look like to you like in this position? I'm like honestly because I came from like such a different job from the last 2 years, I genuinely have no idea. None at all. Not even like a remote clue as to what a hard day's worth of work would look like.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, before this I was a mover, and before that I was a framer. Like, those jobs are so different from cleaning that, like,
Can't compare.
freaking it can't compare. A hard day's worth of work in framing is moving a bunk of plywood up 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
And 1 sheet of plywood weighs 50 pounds, and I'm moving 100 of them. Yeah, freaking nothing a janitor will ever do will be as difficult as that.
Yeah, no,
Like, ever.
without question.
Exactly. So, like, I don't know how to answer that question, is basically how that conversation ended.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, like, it never will compare. It will never be more difficult. Like, for real, dude.
For real, for real. Yeah, so you're just over here bad mouthing me.
I will continue to do so.
No good.
Literally,
no good
what I
story.
told Misty the other day was, I will continue to talk shit about Thomas until I run out of tea to spill. Like,
Literally, just thrashing my name.
well, look, you also kind of did it yourself.
I told you incompetence.
I told you what I was going to do with this information.
After I told you.
No, I think you knew beforehand, too.
No, that's not how it works. But, yeah, it's kind of funny. Missy will just always think that I was just so lazy and terrible. But that's fair, though, because compared to her standards, she will bust her ass.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, to a point that I don't respect her. Does that, if that makes any
She
sense?
doesn't seem to work that hard to me, though.
Well, like,
But,
that's the
like,
thing.
again, different standards.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Is like, that's what I'm saying. Is like she'll work so hard, but then also at the same time get nothing done,
Yeah.
and it always annoyed me, because like that's why I was always so like wondering why she never got all of her stuff done during the day, like, and the biggest thing was like taking out all the lunch trash, because I always had to do it when I got to work because she ran out of time or whatever. But every time I did her job, I was always able to do it. Like, it was
Right.
so easy for me to get it done before the evening shift. And that's why I was always so wondering why. But then, you know, the fact that whenever I hear her stories about when she worked super hard at Washington and, like, would stay after really late and stuff for extra hours to get everything done, like, that's when that's like why are you doing that? Because you shouldn't be. Not just because you can't, it's
Technically
because
illegal.
it's because you're working too hard for somebody who's paying you too little.
Yeah.
Well, it's not illegal to stay late to get everything that needs to be done.
She's not being paid for her labor.
It's not.
But she was.
Well, not proper compensation.
Well,
basically,
right.
she was losing
It's
family time.
But that's not like it's not illegal.
Well, no, I'm
to
not
like
saying it was illegal.
stay late and then be paid your actual wage for overtime or whatever.
Oh, well, yeah,
like,
I didn't say
that's
it
what
was
I'm saying. That's what Connor just said.
Oh, okay.
Like,
But yeah, no, it's totally legal.
it's
but-
not technically proper compensation because she's doing like 2 people's worth of work.
Yeah, and
but
she's
also
working way
it,
too hard.
It is proper compensation, technically, because she's willing to do that. I told her like I wouldn't do it. Freaking, if we need more dudes, I will do what's like expected of me, and that's it. I won't do it above that. And
That's
like,
good, 'cause-
if what's expected of me is more than like a normal dude's, then like whatever, right? Freaking, I know I will probably work harder than a lot of other people, but this job is so easy compared to the ones I've had. So like, it's not the same thing. Still, it's like trying to compare apples to oranges, you know,
Yeah, that's fair.
or judge a fish on its tree climbing ability. Like,
Yeah, so that's always one of those things.
yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, neither of us were perfect. And I take full responsibility for fucking being lazy.
Mhm.
But at the same time, literally nobody gave me shit for it. So,
They complained a little bit to Misty about it, though.
who did?
Apparently the teachers, like, noticed that, like, there was, I don't know, something with trash cans. I don't remember what she said. It was something, like, kind of small, but also, like, you clearly had more than enough time to get that one little thing, that one little extra step done,
Oh, but
and
see,
still had your 4 hours.
if she doesn't tell me about it, though,
Right.
then
Understood.
that-
Understood.
I can't be responsible.
That one's totally, like, fair, right? And I don't know why the teachers wouldn't say anything either, but...
Well, yeah, they didn't tell me either. So,
right,
I mean,
they only complained to Misty about it, and only a little bit, apparently.
see, so even
So-
then, that
But, like, apparently you weren't getting your job done to the best of the abilities, or whatever.
see, but there you go. That's where the whole thing is, right?
Right.
So who am I trying to impress? Misty or all the other staff members?
Right.
Because I was up to standards for all other staff members. They were all perfectly happy with what I was doing, except for maybe a few minor inconveniences here and there. But you can't be perfect. But to Misty, I was doing way under what I could have been, or should have been. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah,
so
no, I got
Misty's standards were far above, apparently, because she never told me that her standards were higher, that I wasn't meeting her standards.
Right.
She never said that. So apparently,
Which, again, is a failing on her part, and I'm not
So-
saying anything else like
so
that.
apparently,
But, like, you know.
her standards are much higher though than everybody else's standards.
Yeah.
And since nobody ever had any issues, like major ones, like oh, he's terrible at his job. No, they're like, oh, he missed the trash can or something,
Mhm.
or forgot to dump this trash,
Right.
whatever, something like that. Then
Apparently, when you quit, her husband was like, "Are you making him dig through trash cans for, like, feminine products?" She's like, "No, I'm not." And, like, that's why he assumed you quit.
that's a weird assumption.
I know, it's such a weird thing to just, like, decide on, essentially. But apparently that's what happened.
That's so funny. Oh,
Ah. Coward.
oh man!
I just saved.
Yeah.
Ah!
Dang.
Oh, that's why I died so quick. Okay. I'm super low on HP and didn't even fucking know.
Good old days working at the McKinley.
Dude, I'm honestly not worried at all about any responsibility I'm supposed to have
No?
there.
Well, I never was.
Well, I mean, like, freaking, like getting it done wise, you know? I'm not gonna intentionally slow myself down to get extra time at the end of the day or whatever.
Oh, I never did that.
To do this kind of thing, right? I'm gonna just work at my normal speed, at my normal capacity,
Well, that's
until
amazing.
I fucking pass away or something.
I never slowed myself down. I worked at my normal speed, is why I got done so fast. Because I did only what needed to be done. So you're
To the
welcome.
barest minimum possibility.
Yeah, but according to, people besides Misty,
Right.
it was fine.
And like,
Even Jessica never mentioned anything to me. And she's
Yeah.
technically my boss,
yeah,
and Misty's my supervisor.
freaking, but I was, or something, freaking. Oops. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. I had two thoughts and they bounced off each other, and now I can't find either of them.
Oh, that's
Also, not surprising
no, not
at
surprising.
all. This is a normal thing for me.
That's okay. I get to do an even easier job now.
Yeah, it's true.
Physically easy.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's more.
Freaking
But big brain trumps.
maintenance came by and was like, we were wondering why we stopped getting calls from her, and he's like, I guess we know now, because it's just, it was I don't remember any of their names. It was one of the taller guys, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like my height. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm a big dude. Like, it's not hard for me to pick up a table or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a table.
They were probably getting a lot of calls from her while she was missing in the evening.
Yeah, probably. And she's like, the joke is that every time they come by, they ask me what I broke, even though, like, the last head custodian and Thomas would fix things, and then they would fall apart on me.
What do you mean? What things did I fix, quote unquote, that fell apart on her?
I don't know. The Jimboni has duct tape holding it together.
I didn't do that.
I
That
know,
was cheap.
I know you didn't do that one, but like there's some other stuff where you definitely fixed it, and like
I'm trying to think about what she's talking about.
freaking,
She's taking this
and then it like
Slam.
falls apart on her while she's using it. She's like, I have no idea what to do with this now.
That's the
Right.
problem. I had to fix stuff because she didn't fix anything.
Because she put in a work order to get it fixed properly.
Well, no, because it's like, it depends on what it is. Because obviously I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right, I don't know.
But
Freaking,
like, I know everything that I've ever like fixed was because she was like, I can't fix this, and so I fixed it for her. So it's like one of those where it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being wrongly accused here.
No,
of bad
well, that's the thing.
craftsmanship.
Is like I've seen you fix stuff before,
Yeah.
and like it works. It does work for a while. It's gonna break eventually, though.
So does
Like,
everything.
there's a limit to what duct tape can do on your cord on your scooter or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a limit to everything.
Well, when you don't
which
have the
I
right
totally
tools.
understand. I do get it.
They have the
But
tools. I have
she
the
would.
knowledge.
That's the way she put it. Is that you and G would fix things, and then they would break while she's using them, and she's like, I can't do anything about this. I have to put a work order in for this.
Sounds like she needs to get
So-
better at her job. She can't even
Which
fix
is
things.
no, that's totally fair, dude. Not everybody knows how to jury rig something. Okay.
Yeah. So I refuse to just.
But like,
Be
I
bad-mouthed.
guarantee there are things in there that will break while I'm using them that you fixed.
No.
100%.
No, in like a few years maybe.
Maybe, but like it's
That's
still
good.
That still means it will break. I said expansive. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The most dangerous kind.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing.
Definitely go check out our other content.
Until next time, peace out.
Bye bye.